Hello everyone. Today onwards we begin the chapter number 3, elements, compounds and mixtures. In this chapter we discuss about how the substances around us, whatever things are surrounding us, how these substances are classified into different categories. That is elements, compounds and mixtures. So whatever surrounds us and their categories will be discussed in these chapters. One by one we shall be discussing what are elements, what are their properties, followed by what are compounds and their properties, and lastly about the mixtures we shall discuss. At the end of this chapter we shall also discuss how the different mixtures can be separated from one another. Today we shall discuss about the elements and compounds. So everything, whatever things are surrounding us, all the substances around us is made up of what? They are all are made up of elements. Elements can be like hydrogen is an element, oxygen is an element, likewise carbon, nitrogen and so on. There is a long list of elements that are forming different substances around us. And whenever these elements, they can be two elements or they can be two or more than two elements. Whenever two or more than two elements combine together in a chemical manner, whenever they chemically combine, what is forming? They will form a compound. So always you will remember elements. Elements join up and what they will form is called as they join together to form a compound. Simplest example we can take like hydrogen combines with oxygen. What we are getting as a result is water. That is a compound. So H2O is a compound that is forming by the combination of two elements, hydrogen as well as oxygen. Next thing, but everything that we come across, that is all the substances around us, they can not be a pure element or a pure compound. Whatever things are around us, they can be element, they can be a compound also, but certain substances are there which can be both. They can contain one element also, one compound also. So what they will be called as? They will be called as a mixture. For example, we can take different mixtures around us, like we can have air. Air around us is an example of mixture. Here it is given. For example, the air we breathe contains elements like oxygen and nitrogen and the compounds like carbon dioxide and water vapor. So air is a mixture of gases like hydrogen is there, oxygen is there, nitrogen is there. All things are present in air. These all are what? Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, all these are elements. These all are what? They all are elements which are present in air. But along with these, something else is there like carbon dioxide. There is some water vapor, H2O also is there. What is this CO2 and H2O now? CO2 and H2O, both these things are what? They both are compounds. So air is containing elements like H2, O2, N2, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Also air is also containing compounds like carbon dioxide and water vapor. So air is a mixture of both things. Element is also there and compound is also there. So certain substances which are containing both the things, element as well as compound, they are called as mixture. So just a brief introduction. We have seen that everything around us, whatever substances are around us, they are made up of elements. Different substances can also be there where two or more elements are joining there. What they will form? They will form compounds. Furthermore, there are some more substances which are containing both the things. Some substances are only element, some substances are only compound, but rather some more elements are there which are mixture of both the things, which are a mixture of element and a compound both. So they are forming mixtures. Like example we have seen of air. Now we shall begin the chapter. After this introduction we shall continue with the chapter. So all the substances, this table you have to remember, you have to draw this table, or we can say this flow chart. You have to draw this in your class notebook. So this is the flow chart, that is the classification of substances. Below the diagram you will write in the copy, the heading for this will be classification of substances. All will write this heading below the flowchart diagram, classification of substances. So this flowchart we can ask. So how the substances are classified? Substances are classified into two categories. First one is what? First one are pure substances. Second one is mixture. The pure substances again are divided into two parts. One is elements. Pure substances can be element or pure substances can be compound. So this is how the substances are classified into different categories. Now one by one we shall discuss. In today's class we will discuss only the pure substances. What are the pure substances? They can be elements and they can be compound. First we will discuss about elements, second we will discuss about compounds. In the later classes we will discuss about mixtures. So the pure substances. First of all, the definition. What is a pure substance? A pure substance is a substance is a kind of a substance which cannot be split into simpler substance by physical methods. Like filtration is a method, sublimation, distillation. All these methods, whatever methods are written here, we will discuss them in details in the end of this chapter. At the end of this chapter, all these processes are given. These all are used to separate the mixtures. Mixtures can be separated by filtration, sublimation, distillation. These are all physical methods to separate different things. But if these methods like filtration is done, then we cannot separate. They cannot be split. Split means what? Split means broken. Or in simpler terms, you can also say they cannot be separated. So if anything cannot be separated by physical methods, then that substance is a pure substance. For example, if we take hydrogen gas and we apply filtration to it, then hydrogen atoms will not separate from each other. They will still remain hydrogen only after filtration, sublimation or any process similar to these. So by physical methods we cannot separate. Similarly, we can take carbon dioxide. CO2 is a compound, CO2 gas. We cannot separate carbon and oxygen here. Two substances or two elements are there. One is carbon, one is oxygen, but we cannot separate both of them by any physical methods. Similarly, we can take for example water. Water is containing hydrogen and oxygen, but we cannot separate both of them by physical methods. We can separate hydrogen and oxygen by chemical methods. That is a different thing, but not by chemical method. We are not talking of using any chemical here, but physical methods we cannot separate them. So any substances which cannot be separated by physical method, they are pure substances. Now we shall move after this definition to elements. What are elements? Any element we can say it is a substance which cannot be split into simpler substance by chemical methods. Like just now we have seen hydrogen, oxygen, all these are examples of elements and they cannot be separated by chemical method. If anything can be separated by chemical method, then what it will be called? It will be called as compound. We shall discuss this later at the definition of compound. So now anything which cannot be split or broken down by a simple physical method, then it is what it is? It is an element. And now this line you have to remember, you can underline this. Elements are represented by what? They are represented by symbols. Always whenever we note down, whenever we write name of an element, instead of writing the full spelling, the full name, we will write short form, that is called as the symbol. The symbol of the elements are written in different manners. There are certain rules for writing the chemical symbols. The symbols of different elements are there and there are certain rules that are formulated. Generally these rules are divided into three categories. The first method, that is of writing the rule, is the first letter. The first letter in English language, that is written in capitals of the English name of the element. Like hydrogen. Hydrogen first alphabet is what? It is H. So the symbol becomes capital H. Similarly boron, here first letter you can see the first alphabet is capital B. Similarly carbon stands with C, nitrogen N, oxygen O, fluorine F, phosphorus P and sulfur S. So all these are what? These are the symbols of these elements. And on what basis the symbols are found? They all are the first letter in capital of the English name of these elements. The second rule of writing the different elements, symbols of the elements are the first letter along with one more letter, because Here we will write two alphabets because there are certain elements which are starting with the same alphabet. Like hydrogen starts with H. So for hydrogen we have given the name H. So now helium also starts with H. If I write helium also H, then there will be confusion that H is hydrogen or helium. So to stop this confusion, we are not using H for helium. We are using the first two first two alphabets for making the symbols. So in the spelling of helium, you can see the first two alphabets are H and E. So therefore the symbol becomes He. The first one will be capital letter and the second one will be small letter. Next is neon. Neon, now again we will write Ne. We will not write N because N is nitrogen. Next one, similarly nickel, here Ni, first two alphabets, manganese and magnesium. Now this one is interesting. Here you can see magnesium, first two alphabets are what? Magnesium first two alphabets are Ma. Manganese also first two alphabets are what? Here also Ma. Now again confusion is coming. In the first two alphabets you see both are Ma and Ma. So we cannot use the same symbol for two elements. So we are not using Ma for both of them. What we are using here in this case is first alphabet M and the third alphabet G. That makes it Mg. Similarly in manganese also first alphabet is M and the third one is N. That makes it Mn. Similarly here in calcium and calcium, chromium, cobalt, chlorine, all these are starting with C. So therefore you can see Ca we have written for calcium, Cr we have taken for chromium. Now Ch we have not taken because Ch is present in chlorine also. So we have taken first alphabet C and third one R. Cr makes chromium. Similarly C and L, first and third, that is Cl is chlorine. Cobalt we have to write Co. We will not write capital C capital O because capital C capital O is what? It is a compound. It is a gas, that is carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is CO, but there O is capital. So if we write O capital, then it will be wrong. It is not cobalt. O will be small, then it is cobalt. Next we will see zinc here. Zinc also first alphabet and third alphabet we have taken Z and N. Platinum P and T we have written platinum. That is the short form of platinum or symbol of platinum is Pt. Next is radium Ra. Now all these symbols whatever are given in these tables, in this present table as well as the upper one, all these symbols you have to learn. Next one, after this the second rule, we will write the third rule, or we will learn the third rule, that is one or two letters of the Latin name of the element. Just once again we see here what is the first rule. The first rule is first letter of the English name. We are using the English name and its first letter. Second one, we have taken the English name again, English language name of the particular element and its first letter along with one more letter. It can be first two letters or it can be first and the third letter. But the third rule is there are certain elements which were discovered very much earlier, and that time their names were more common in the Latin language. Latin is a language, and in the earlier form of chemistry, that is alchemy, that time these elements were discovered. So their names also were in Latin language and the symbol also continues from that language only. Like sodium was earlier called as natrium in Latin language, and its first two alphabets are Na. That makes the symbol. Potassium here, it was known as kalium. Its first symbol is K. Next one, iron, here also it was called ferrum, so it makes Fe. Copper is cuprum, it makes Cu, first two alphabets only. Next silver was argentum, so here A and G we have taken first and the third, that makes Ag. Next tin was called as a stannum, so here S and N first and the fourth we have taken, that is Sn. Next is gold, that is first two alphabet of aurum. Aurum is the Latin name for gold, that makes Au. Next is lead, that is plumbum. We will take P and B first and the fifth alphabet, that makes Pb. Next mercury hydrogen, there we will take H and G from this spelling, that makes Hg. In this table you have to learn both the Latin name as well as the symbol. So these are very important things for 1 mark questions. All these you have to learn. All the 3 tables, the symbol you have to learn. In the third table, especially this one, what you are seeing now, here is the Latin name as well as the symbol, both you have to learn. So write it down in your book to learn this. Remember, you have to learn it. Now, here one important thing is given. Remember that the symbol of the element represent what? It represent one atom. All will underline this line. One symbol will mean what? One atom. If I write capital H, H is the symbol of what? H is the symbol of hydrogen. Now what this hydrogen means here? If I am writing H, that means I am talking about one atom of hydrogen. If I write 2H, that means 2 atoms of hydrogen. If I write 3H, that means 3 atoms of hydrogen. So likewise, if I write a particular symbol, then it means one atom of that particular element. Once again, if I write for example O now, so O means what? O means one atom of what? One atom of oxygen. So one particular symbol will represent one atom. So this word you will learn. We can ask as a fill up. The symbol of the element represent dash of the element. So it represent one atom. Similarly, all these elements are there. All these represent one atom of the particular element. Furthermore, whenever what we have learned just now is whenever different elements combine together, what they will form? They will form molecules. Now we will learn about molecules. Atoms generally they do not exist independently. They cannot live alone. They are always combining together. So whenever the atoms combine with other atoms, a particular atom can combine with other atoms, they can form what? They will form a molecule. The molecule can always be independent. Atom cannot be independent, but the molecule can remain independent. And the molecule is written by the formula. So this line also you will mark, you will underline. A molecule of the element is represented by what? This is the word you have to learn. It is represented by formula. Just now earlier we have learned. Just now here I will show. Here we have learned elements are represented by symbols. Similarly, the molecules. The molecule is represented by what? The molecule is represented by formula. So for writing an element, we are having symbol like H is the symbol of hydrogen. But for writing the name of a molecule, we will have formula, and the formula for hydrogen molecule will be H2. So H is the symbol of hydrogen, H2 is the the formula for hydrogen molecule. Now we will learn more details about these molecules. Molecule of hydrogen is H2. Similarly, nitrogen is N2, oxygen is O2, fluorine is an element and its molecule is F2. Chlorine is called as Cl atom. That is chlorine atom, that is the symbol. But when chlorine atom join together, what will form? It will form Cl2. So what is actually this 2 is written there? 2 is written because 2 atoms of these elements are joining together. H2 means what? H2 means hydrogen atom is combining with another hydrogen atom. So 2 hydrogen atoms are joining together, and what we are getting is H2. H2 is what? H2 is a molecule. Different atoms are combining together. Here in this present case, 2 atoms are combining together, and what we are getting is a single molecule, that is H2 molecule. Now how many atoms are combining together? That will give us a new concept. The number of atoms that are present in a molecule. How many atoms are present in a molecule? That gives the atomicity. This is very important definition you have to learn. The question can be asked, what is atomicity? So atomicity is what? It is the number of atoms that are present in a single molecule. Like in H2 molecule, hydrogen molecule, how many atoms are present? You can see there the number is written 2. 2 is the number of atoms. So the atomicity for hydrogen is 2. If I am talking about other elements, then we will see about this atomicity now in details. So here we come You can also follow in your textbook. First we'll read here. All the molecules of, just now we have seen hydrogen H2, nitrogen is N2, so now here 2 is written, that means atomicity is 2, oxygen is O2. Here also in the formula of oxygen we are writing O2, that means 2 atoms are there, so oxygen molecule atomicity is 2. Similarly fluorine, chlorine, all these are having atomicity 2. If the atomicity of a particular molecule is 2, then those kind of molecules we will say they all are diatomic. Diatomic means their atomicity is 2. H2, O2, F2, all are having 2 atoms. So therefore they all are diatomic. Next one, the next line here we'll read. The molecule of all the elements are not diatomic. For example, the molecule of ozone. Ozone is a gas. Ozone gas, the formula is O3. This ozone gas is present in the upper atmosphere. It protects us from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. So it is an important gas in the upper layer of the atmosphere. It is present, and it is triatomic. How it is triatomic? Because the formula you can see here is O3. O means oxygen and 3 means 3 atoms of oxygen are joined together. That will form ozone gas. So ozone gas is having 3 atoms of oxygen. Therefore, what we can say that it is triatomic in nature. So ozone gas is what? It is a triatomic molecule. This molecule is having 3 atoms present inside it. Therefore, it is triatomic. Next one now, the molecules of phosphorus. The molecule of phosphorus, now here it is given P4. Now number you can see here 4 is written. That means 4 atoms of phosphorus are joined together. Because 4 atoms of phosphorus are there, therefore we will say they are what? They are what? They are tetraatomic. This all you have to learn. All I'm showing you in the book itself. This is all you have to learn. What are diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic? They are examples. The molecule you have to learn. Next one is octatomic. The last one is octatomic. Octatomic example is given for S8. What is S8? S8 is sulfur molecule. S8 is the molecule of sulfur. This single molecule is having 8 atoms. Because of the number of atoms are 8 here, what we will say? They are octaatomic. So just now what we have learned, I will give a brief summary again now. The atomicity is what? Atomicity is what? It is number of atoms in a molecule. In a single molecule, how many atoms are present? And these are of different types. It can be diatomic, that is 2 atoms in a single molecule, like hydrogen is there, oxygen is there, many more are there. Next one is triatomic. Example we have seen, that is ozone. Next one we have seen tetraatomic, and last one was octaatomic. Tetraatomic like P4, it is containing 4 atoms. Octaatomic example you have seen S8, that is sulfur. So diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic and octaatomic. These 4 we have seen. Apart from this, one more kind of atomicity is there. What is that now? That is monoatomic. There are certain molecules which are having single atom in their molecule only. They are all noble gases, different noble gases. For example, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. All these examples here in the bracket you can see the formula. So for the formula of helium, it is He. If I am writing He, that means helium atom. But single helium atom will not join with any other atom. Noble gases are very much unreactive. They do not react with other atoms. Because they do not react with other atoms, that means what? They can live independent. They can live alone. They are free on their own. And therefore, this particular atom will also behave like what? It will also behave like molecule. So if I am writing He, that is both. It is an atom also, it is a molecule also. Single molecule is having single atom only. So these atoms, these molecules are having one atom only. That is why what we will say? We will say that they all are monoatomic. If any molecule is having only one atom, then they are called what? They all are called as monoatomic. So today we have discussed about what? That is, we have seen the different substances and their classification. Remember, you have to draw this flow chart. Remember to draw it in the notebook. After this, we have seen what is the definition of pure substances. About the elements, we have learned the substances which cannot be split by chemical methods. Then we have learned the elements, how they are represented by symbols, and the rules. We have seen 3 rules are there to write the symbol. That is first letter of the English alphabet, the first 2 or the first and the third letter of the English alphabet, or the English name of the particular element, and the third rule is about the Latin name. All these names and the element symbols what are given in the book that you have to learn. After this, we have seen about the molecules, that because the atoms cannot live independent, they are forming molecule, and molecule is represented by what? By the formula. How the formula is written? The formula is written based on the atomicity. What is atomicity? That is the number of atoms present in a molecule, and just now we have seen about all the types of atomicity. So that's all for this present class. In the next class onward, we will talk about the compounds. So next class we will be having a live online class. So we'll continue from the topic of compounds. That is all for this present class. Thank you.